Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. Happy 2026. First, I guess, official live stream of the new year. I guess we could say that. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Now, you probably are wondering, like, hey, JWhit, what are we doing over here on the X? Well, that's a great question. I don't know what we're doing over here on X. I have no idea. Some reason or other, I have no idea why. I am not able to stream on YouTube. All the other platforms are fine. I have no idea what happened. YouTube is just going to keep YouTubing as all the questions. I already asked all the questions that you probably already asking, and I probably asked 10 other ones. I have no idea. So until further notice, we're going to be over here we're just taking a little field trip. We're taking a little scenic tour of the social media platforms. I had intended to stream on Substack, but I was just having a terrible time with it. And I said, look, ain't nobody got time for that. And it was just working well over here on the Twitter. So we over here, I'm assuming everything is going to work out well. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. We're doing like a little field trip. We're doing the best live chat on Twitter now. That's what we're doing until further notice. Hopefully, I have no idea. I truly have no idea. There's no way to communicate with them. YouTube doesn't give you a solid reason for why, what happened, or anything of that nature. And I don't know what to do. So anyway, that's what we're doing. So shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Shout out to everybody. Hopefully and prayerfully your 2026 has started out well. Hopefully your 2026 did not start out like a Senor Maduro. It started out pretty, I think I'm going to go on a limb and say it started out pretty bad. It started out super bad. But we're going to talk about that as well. I want to bring on a great content creator who was talking about that. And I think he did a great job. And somehow or another, I have no idea how, she who shall not be named, Candace Ambrosia Owens, has somehow or another tied the overthrowing of Maduro in Venezuela to Israel. I don't even understand. At some point, we just gonna have to stop, ma'am. You have Israel derangement syndrome. I mean, I know they have the IDF. You have IDS. You have Israel derangement syndrome. Candace, just stop. Not everything is about Israel. Stop it. Stop. Because now you start making sentences and stuff like that. This sounds insane. So we'll talk about that. And you know, as much as I want to tell the truth, I'm not big on X, but you know what? X is starting to grow on you, boy. And some of the comments, man, X, she's been getting hammered. Oh, that's funny. Hammered. Okay. Let me bring this in. So I don't know. You may not have heard the whole thing with what's this guy's name? Mitch Snow. Him and the whole getting beat by a hammer with his wife. Well, on X has no chill whatsoever. X is totally out of pocket. They have been giving him that work as it relates to him saying that his wife hit him with a hammer when it's clearly him. He was the one, the aggressor, all that kind of stuff, beating the door up and hitting the car, all this kind of crazy stuff. His story is coming apart like a $2 suit. It is just terrible. So he has been really catching it on X. So, matter of fact, please make sure that you have your bingo board, because we will be going back to Candace bingo, at least today, at least. Why not start 2026 off playing bingo? Why not? Makes sense to us. Anyway, somebody's talking about, yeah, he claims somehow or another, I don't understand how, his pops is the Zodiac killer. I don't even understand. I really don't. But what I just want to point out, man, X is a lot of fun. I'm learning. It's growing on you, boy. It's growing on me. All right. It's truly growing on me. I'm enjoying X over here. I definitely will continue to stream over here for sure, and keep engaging with the audience over here, because there's some great people over here. But I am looking forward to going back to YouTube. It's just a lot more simple. It's a little bit more simple for me. Yeah. Oh, I see Artie Trolls. Make it happen, Artie Trolls. Shout out to Artie, man. Artie is a great content creator, man. I really like that guy. And matter of fact, let me just bring this video in. At the current moment, just so y'all know I'm not just over here rambling and talking fast, Candace has not announced that she's doing a show. I'm pretty sure what she's doing is they're trying to drop the show once as content creators are kind of dropping off, or when the maximum amount of her Autobots are already online. That's the only thing I can conclude. Because I'm like, why don't you just announce the show at a normal time? At the current moment, she has not announced it. Let me just pull it up, make sure I got it ready. She's not announced the show. So I'm going to go on a limb and say she's going to probably do it like at 5 o'clock. Nope, I take it back. She did. She announced it. Oh, it's going to be fun. All right, it's going to be good. Here, let's bring Jay in from Storybox. Great content creator. If the mods want to drop the link to his channel in the chat, I would appreciate it greatly. All right, let's get this party going. Let's go see what Jay is talking about over here. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
If you guys have noticed this, but I certainly have, especially in the past couple of months. But the I'm America First crowd, guys, those ones like Tucker Carlson and Candy Owens seem to be very pro-dictatorship. Don't know if you guys have realized that with the news that Nicolas Maduro's regime has toppled with a 4-hour military operation the U.S. carried out. Nicolas Maduro was arrested and sent to, you guessed it, the United States of the America. United States of the America. I was calling that, ladies and gentlemen. The United States of America, my friends. Nicolas Maduro is done. And Trump said that he is going to be staying there until such time as they can work out whether or not they can have an actual diplomatic solution that is going to bring about a proper democracy in that place. But until such time, America is going to be running Venezuela. Hallelujah. And all of the dingbats like Candy Owens, Cenk Uygur, Tucker Carlson, and all of Candy's sicko fans, for some reason, they happen to be pro-dictator, just like Tucker's pro-Islam at the moment. Why is that? Oh, because Venezuela banned corn, they banned abortion, they banned gay marriage, they banned changes, and they banned usury. So surely, guys, that would mean it's definitely a great country to live in. Why don't you pack up your crap in your democratic safety, and why don't you go over to Venezuela, and why don't you live there under Nicolas Maduro and see if it is the utopia that you claim to be, because they banned all the things that you said that they banned. Oh, get this. We're not done yet, because, whoa, lo and behold, the America First crowd, very, very quick to blame Israel for everything. Tucker Carlson and Candy Owens immediately blaming Israel for the toppling of Venezuela, even though Israel had nothing to do with it and it was all Trump. You can't make any of this stuff up.
And I want to just point this out. This is why we just mock and make fun of them now. We don't try to reason with them. We don't try to treat them like they're sensible. We just mock them and make fun of them because they have such a high level of Israel derangement syndrome that there's nothing you can do but just laugh at it until because it's terminal at this point. There's no way to solve it. It's well past stage 4. So we just mock you. We just laugh at you. We don't treat you like you're serious. No, you're not serious. Like literally you said no kings, but then you over here protesting for Maduro. Like you can't make this stuff make sense. So no, we're just going to mock you. We're just going to point our fingers at you and laugh. We're going to say that you're an IQ test, and we mean it. Let's go, Jay.
Because it's playing out right before our very eyes. You literally can't. I mean, I couldn't make any of this up if I wanted to. It's way better that it's happening the way that it is, but I couldn't, in my creativity, come up with anything this crazy. Because seriously, you've got Candy Owens going, Venezuela has been liberated like Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq were liberated. Oh my goodness. These people are nuts. And so many listen to people like Candy. You know what? The difference with Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq? America went in full force, boots on the ground. Venezuela, it took them 4 hours to capture the dictator leadership, Nicolas Maduro, and that was that. They're going to be running the country, of course, but guess what? You saw all of the cheers in the streets. All of the Venezuelans that have been put under the bondage and oppressive regime, the narco regime, I might add, of Nicolas Maduro, they're all cheering and thanking President Trump. Nicolas Maduro's regime, they had an election, right? I believe it was last year. And Maduro lost. But because he's so corrupt and because he loves power so much, he basically, well, not basically, he did, rigged everything and took over the country anyway because he could. That's what a dictator does. Oh, but no, according to Kenny Owens, Venezuela hasn't been liberated of a tyrant and a dictator. Again, why is it that the America First crowd happens to be very dictator positive? Gee, I don't
Dictator
know
first,
why.
right?
They always cry, no more wars. Are we in a war? Interesting. Oh, she doesn't stop. It gets worse. The CIA has staged another hostile takeover of a country at the behest of a globalist or globalist psychopaths. Woman, you are the psychopath.
Yo, man, we just can't take them seriously. We cannot treat them like they're sensible. You cannot treat them like your uncle at Thanksgiving or your cousin that comes to the cookout during the summer. You cannot treat them like they're reasonable. You just have to mock them and you just have to make fun of them. So that's all you can do. You cannot do anything else. Let's go.
Psychopath says what? That's it. That's what is happening. Always, everywhere. Zionists share every regime change. There has never been a single regime change that Zionists have not applauded because it means they get to steal land, oil, and other resources. Hope this helps. Oh, my goodness me. And
and I really wanted to. I was trying to make a montage of all of the Venezuelans celebrating. It kind of made your boy get a little feel something in the feels, right? I was like, wow, to watch these people who for years upon years upon years have experienced the complete humiliation of Maduro to now instantly, like literally overnight, 4 hours, their whole situation has changed. And to see them dancing in the street and celebrating, and not just in Venezuela, I mean, all over the world, I believe it's fair to say, we saw people, groups of Venezuelans all over the place celebrating. Now, that might have made your guy get a little bit misty-eyed, like, oh, okay. I kind of felt that. I felt that. It was cool to see, man. It was great to see and to realize that no American lives were lost. Anybody whose lives who were lost would probably deserve to have their lives lost. And so many Venezuelans are like, yes, thank you. I mean, it's crazy. And then to turn around and watch Nigerians who were celebrating their own come up, if you will, because their terrorists have been put on their back heels, them celebrating a little bit of Venezuela, but a whole bunch of their own. And, hey, it might have been good that I wasn't on stream. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you that your boy was crying, but let's just say it was a little warm in the studio and the eyes might have been sweating. It was a beautiful thing to see. And so for this deranged woman to try to take away okay, fine, you don't like Trump. You can not like Trump, but you cannot deny that these people were oppressed. You cannot deny that these people were under the threat of death. And now they're not. Why can you not find joy in that? And I've said this before. Candace doesn't have joy because all she is, all her whole shtick is, I hate Israel. That's it. There is nothing else. Like, well, what do you love though? Okay, fine. We got you. Benjamin Netanyahu did not get anything from Christmas for you. I got you. But what are you actually excited about, joyful about? And not like, hand wringing. We got to bunker down. We got to homeschool our kids. What are you actually excited about, Candace? Anything? Nothing. Nothing brings her joy. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. Let's go. Jay, what you got to say?
7,100 people like that. 247,000 people viewed it at the time that I screenshotted this. She posted that 47 minutes it took for that many people. 1,500 reshares, 1,000 comments. And I'm going, your account is pure bots, woman. Because the Venezuelan people are pretty happy that Nicolas Maduro is no longer in power and America has seized control for the time being until such time as a democracy can be instated. So your comment, Candy, does not help anyone at all. Seems like the America First crowd loves the dictators. I mean, Tucker Carlson, not that long ago, had this to say about Nicolas Maduro. Have a watch.
Question is why? Why are we doing this? Why are we so opposed to Nicolas Maduro? So if you ask someone on the street, random person, why are we against Nicolas Maduro? The answer you're going to get is, who's Nicolas Maduro? But if you find someone in South Florida, for example, who knows who Nicolas Maduro is, who can identify where Venezuela is on a map, that person will almost certainly say, well, because he's a communist or a socialist, he's exceedingly left-wing. And that is true. Nicolas Maduro and his government are very left-wing on economics, not on social policy, by the way, which is kind of interesting. In Venezuela, gay marriage is banned, abortion is banned, exchanges for transgenderism are banned. It's one of the very few countries in the entire hemisphere with those policies. It is on social policy, not defending the regime, just saying.
So why don't you rally right now, Tucker, for those things to be banned here in the United States? Okay, fine. Those are banned over there, but why are you not? Apparently, the way you're saying it, you sound like it's a good thing, which, by the way, I agree. Why are you not seeking for them to be banned here? Why not, Tucker? See, that's where the inconsistency, and this is what I'm saying, like your conservatism can't be just, I'm a conservative because I believe there should be one man, one woman for life. There's got to be more to that. It has to be rooted in some reality. It has to be. Okay, let's go.
One of the most conservative countries in North or South or Central America. Only El Salvador really comes close, which is much smaller, of course. And by the way, the U.S.-backed opposition leader who would take Maduro's place if he were taken out is, of course, pretty eager to get gay marriage in Venezuela. So to those of you who thought this whole project was globo homo, not crazy, actually.
Globo homo.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, let's ignore what Tucker Carlson said, and let's put into perspective exactly why Nicolas Maduro is a bad individual. Just because you're going, and again, have you ever heard a supposed conservative say, guess what? A dictator is a conservative. Oh, he's espousing conservative values because he banned gay marriage, he banned transgenderism, and he banned abortion. That means that everything else that he's done is null and void. For example, starving the people, jailing dissidents, rigging elections, and driving millions into exile. And that doesn't even, aside from the narco regime that he ran, the drugs that he's been peddling, etc., etc., etc. It keeps getting worse and worse the more you go down. But of course, someone that actually did have a brain that is no longer with us, unfortunately, because he was assassinated, and someone that I believe would not be agreeing with Candy right now, nor Tucker, is Charlie Kirk. He goes, evil. This is 2019. Maduro and his socialist cronies just blocked U.S. aid to starving Venezuelans, some of whom have lost 20 plus pounds due to food shortages. Socialism kills people, is evil, immoral, and the great enemy we must confront both abroad and here in America. Facts. Since the beginning of the Venezuelan socialist revolution, 85% of businesses have closed. Maduro has increased the minimum wage by 3,500%, causing 40% of remaining businesses to close. But yes, sure. Let's support the regime because they banned gay marriage. Now, while I'm in favor of banning gay marriage, guess what? There are other things that are far more important than banning gay marriage, such as people being able to eat and afford being able to live. But hey, the most important policies that we need to be looking at is definitely gay marriage, first and foremost. You know, there is a hierarchy of things, and the hierarchy, first and foremost, happens to be, am I being starved in my own damn country? Over.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, there's gay marriage, guys. That's been banned. So, hooray. What the actual hell? Priorities, guys. Absolute priorities for Tucker Carlson and Candy Bloody Owens. But the level of delusion from Candy blaming the toppling of Venezuela on Israel.
That's crazy.
I mean, Israel is at fault for literally everything, guys. Did you not know that? Man, I really do wish Charlie was still alive, eh? It's not that socialism wasn't properly implemented. It's that it was perfectly implemented. It's supposed to be this way. That's what socialism does. It's like the same thing in Russia. They banned transgenderism. They banned homosexuality. And guess what's happening to the people? They're at war. It's not free. Same thing in China. Same thing in North Korea. Must I continue? But Candy and Tucker, oh yes, let's defend dictatorships because they ban gay marriage and transgenderism surgeries and everything else like that we don't like and we don't want. You know, part of having a capitalistic and a
All right, let me take a quick little caveat. I actually have a Rumble channel. The problem is Rumble is not easy. It's very similar to Substack, very similar to TikTok. It is hard to stream on there. It is not easy. So I was going to stream onto Rumble, but it's a bear. And it's hard to do. And what I mean by that is it's hard. If you make a mistake, you have to rebuild the entire stream. So and there's no way to double check if you all are getting the full experience. You all can hear me, all that kind of jazz like that. There's no way to run like a test without literally building every time you do it. It is not user friendly. And I've actually talked to people at Rumble and the people at StreamYard, and everybody's pointing at each other. So that's why I don't do it on there. But maybe, who knows, maybe this field trip maybe this is God's way of saying you need to figure it out, Jason, and get it together. All right. That's what I'm thinking. But I appreciate this, Troy Parlor. Thank you so much, brother, for that. Here, let's get finished with Jay.
Democracy is so that we can actually do our very best. I mean, hell, it's banned in America as far as I'm concerned, except for gay marriage. But I mean, you're never going to ban gay marriage. You can try, but the people will be in absolute uproar. And then you're going to run into so many other problems. As much as like I don't agree with it at all, we're kind of stuck with it, unfortunately, until Christ returns. So yes, Charlie continues by going, rather than unleashing U.S. energy to solve the Biden energy crisis, Joe Biden goes hat in hand to the tyrant in Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, easing sanctions and enriching a despot. It's never been about climate change. It's about fundamentally transforming America at your expense. That was in 2022. And socialism kills. Maduro announces 30 rationing plan as power outages continue throughout their socialist dictatorship. This is the country AOC will create unless we stop her.
Wow.
And Cenk Uygur goes, I agree with Steve Bannon that Trump is acting like Hillary Clinton at her neocon peak, bombing all over the planet, Nigeria, Somalia, Venezuela, and going back into Iran for regime change is completely neocon establishment behavior. Why do we have to fight all of Israel's wars? Konstantin Kisin.
What's that got to do with Israel?
Goes, I was going to make a joke about how these retards will claim Venezuela operation is Israel's fault. The America First crowd, guys. But they are actually legit claiming it's Israel's fault. Yeah, because everything is Israel's fault, evidently. Oh, and by the way, you want to hear what's savage? Maduro met China. China met with Nicolas Maduro Friday to talk alliances. Trump captured Maduro later that same day Well, a Chinese delegation still remains in Venezuela. A direct message to Xi Jinping and the world. Ouch. That ain't good. Here is a photo of Nicolas Maduro on board the USS Iwo Jima. See you later. Lying, deranged lunatic Candy Owens immediately jumps to blaming and demonizing Jews for the U.S. military's actions in Venezuela. Right. Nothing says moral clarity like overlooking a mass repression and humanitarian collapse because a socialist dictator aligned with him on a couple of culture war checkboxes. Now, what will Tucker do now that his beloved dictator is captured and indicted on U.S. soil? How dare we do that? Oh, if you didn't think that it gets any worse for Tucker and Candy, have a watch of Candy in her very own words. Well, talking about Nicolas Maduro, it feels like they've got their talking points, don't they? Have a watch.
Because they had an election and their incumbent president, Nicolas Maduro, we all know who Nicolas Maduro is, and my suspicion is he's actually about to be killed, and I'll tell you why. Now, I just want to be clear. I am not a Nicolas Maduro apologist by any means whatsoever. I am just recognizing a very clear pattern here, and I find it interesting that the regional leaders of other countries are demanding that they recount the votes. They are demanding essentially that the winner be declared Edmundo Gonzalez. They're calling it electoral scam. First among them, Milei in Argentina. Now, I want to be very clear. I don't trust anything that crawls out of Argentina with blue eyes. There's a reason for that. And that reason is because after World War II, a lot of Argentinians suddenly had blue eyes.
Yo, the fact that she said that with a straight face. Okay, hold on. We got it in 2026. I gotta start 2026 off with my screenshots. That one is a good face. The fact that she said that with a straight face about Argentinians with blue eyes, as if that is a big deal. Like, had anybody done a research on Argentinians before? Had Candace done any of this research before? We already know what her research skills are like. Well, there you go. If you got blue eyes, okay. So we got the maroon shirts. We got the blue eyes. We might have to start like a color page or something. This is crazy work, man. All right, let's get done. We're almost done.
And so I do not trust Milei. I'm happy to say that. Call it whatever you want. Something about him just reeks of a state plant to me, and how much the media is in love with him. And he just is doing the absolute most despite just getting into office. And so he has sort of led the pack, declaring this to be a fraud, not his country, but he's like, this is an absolute fraud. It is wrong. He is demanding that Maduro publish proof of his victory, such as a district by district breakdown of vote tallies. Okay, so a neighboring country being led by Milei is demanding a breakdown district by district of the vote tallies. And Maduro is ignoring that, which is prompting further protests in his country. People are calling him, actually, Maduro responded to Milei by calling him a cowardly bug and a traitor to the homeland and a fascist. Now, the fascist part might be true. I don't know. I got to see his genealogy because I just don't trust anything with blue eyes that comes from Argentina. That's all I'm saying. Wow. Cut it out. All right. Call me names. I get it. I shouldn't be this honest. I just am. So here's the thing. Maduro has now spoken out. Maduro said the North Americans put a smile on their face, diplomatic face of deception, but behind they carry a dagger. And if you believe their smile, if you get careless, they turn around and stab you. So they have acted for almost 200 years, assassinating presidents, assassinating leaders around the world, assassinating presidents in the USA. John F. Kennedy, who killed him? The system proven.
The system.
Okay. I don't trust anyone with blue eyes that comes out of Argentina. Yeah, I have my reasons.
That's craziness, man.
It's just strange how so many people from Argentina after the war just came out with blue eyes. Yes, there's a
where did you get that
big
from?
Conspiracy behind that, isn't there, Candy? Why don't you investigate that? Maybe instead of investigating Charlie's death, that you're not really investigating. More, you are making a absolute mockery of him and then trying to destroy his legacy while you're at it. So, Candy, attacking Javier Milei, who has brought Argentina from the brink to being a absolute utopia, going after him and then pretty much defending Nicolas Maduro. And these are the people that call themselves America First, guys. How about that? Don't think that, Candy, you are really America First. What you are is a psychopathic narcissist that is obsessed with Israel to the point where everything is Israel's fault. Literally everything, including a country they don't even have anything to do with, or they're not even a part of, Venezuela. You blame it on them. And you got the people in the streets that are cheering on President Trump. Thank you, President Trump, for freeing us of a dictator. Hooray. Ah, dear, oh dear. Why people listen to these nut job idiots, it's beyond me. Anyway, we'll wait to see what happens next, shall we?
All right.
Anyway,
shout out to Jay.
You guys think.
Shout out to Jay from the Story Box. Always good, man. He does a great job. Anyway, I wanted to real quick make sure I showed you all, because we had to go back old school on y'all. We're playing bingo today, ladies and gentlemen. I got my bingo board. So I got TPUSA. I Just Sense, Tip Line shout out, Weird, a claim without receipts, calling out a random country, my sources, FOIA, I don't know, but I know, CIA, any kinds of bots, anything, any references to bots. Okay, NEF, of course, free space. I'm going to get free space now. Military. Oh, we know that's going to happen. COVID. This one right here is going to probably be, this one's probably going to be the first bingo I get. Zionist, best friend, I don't like, influencers, planes. She hasn't mentioned Kanye in a while. Y'all let me know. Should we retire Kanye? Kanye's been on here probably the longest of anything that's been on our bingo board. In the chat, let me know. Should we thumbs up? I'm sorry, green hearts if we get rid of Kanye. Thumbs down if we don't get rid of Kanye. Or any other. Let's go any other emoji. How about that? Yeah, this one too. Maybe this one too. You're right. She does say you know a lot. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I should change I don't know to you know. Maybe that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Okay. Because, this is very scientific over here. Patchwork theories, my gut, betrayal, Macrons. All right. Oh, we know Macrons is coming. We know Macrons is going to get some strays today for sure. That's a guarantee. There ain't no way around that one. The Macrons are going to definitely be on there. They're going to get this work today. But this is going to be fun, y'all. So anyway, as always, get your bingo board. The link is in the chat. It's also in the description of this video. Let me drop it again just to make sure that everybody has access to it. And it's going to be the bingo board. This is going to be the link to the bingo board pretty much all week. So you can definitely keep up with this one if we were going to play bingo during the week. I'm just laughing at myself like, dude, we're playing bingo, making fun of her. But that's what we do. That's what we do. What do we got? Divers notes? Okay. Let me see what y'all got. Well, thank you so much for posting the stream. I appreciate it. We don't want a dictator, Trump, but hey, Viva Maduro. There we go. That's like, hey, we don't want him, but hey, y'all can have him. Candace posted on X about conservatives being wrong on the Macrons. You know what? Candace is wrong on air. Okay, let's just tell the truth, shame the devil. I'm not concerned about Candace. Candace can go kick rocks. I'm sorry. Enjoy your rock kicking session, Lady Candace, from here to Pluto, all the way around the world. Just enjoy your rock kicking because nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right. Okay, I'm just trying to see if this will fit. Okay, I got you. I had a dream, but has she said that a lot? You know what? This is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. Because this is a field trip. We're taking a little field trip. We're going to hopefully be back, on a regular place soon enough. I'm going to put up a community post on, maybe I'll put up here, since y'all are here. I'll put up a community post or a poll question. Like, what other words can we add Maybe I need to, you know what I'll do? I'll put the whole list of words that is on my bingo board. And then y'all tell me what y'all think we should add, take away. You know, this is a group project, man. I'm listening to the people. I got the ears of the people. I'm trying to be a good host. All right, let me find the list real quick. Oh, here it is right here. Perfect. I'm going to put the whole list of all the words that are makeup, because of course, if you get a bingo board, you're not going to see all of the words. So now you see all the words. Here, I'm going to put it up on the Twitter right now. All right, hold on. What bingo words need to be retired? What needs to be added? I hope this can fit. Think about it. Oh, it fits, I think. It's a little bit long. Darn it. Okay, that didn't work. All right, let's see if this fits. Nope, still doesn't fit. It's too many words. All right. So I will do it at the end of the show. I'll make sure I make a list. I'll add the list somehow or another so that you all can see them, and then y'all can give some suggestions on what needs to be changed, what needs to be added, and the such like that. Because I think there's some words that probably could get taken out if we're just looking at it being honest. All right. Fed. Oh, yeah. See, Fed slop. That one definitely. Why are you in YouTube jail? What did you do? I don't know, JG. I don't know. Yesterday, I was on stream with Gary. My stream got taken down. I got an email saying that I violated some community guidelines and I could appeal. I appealed. They rejected the appeal. Now I'm in jail. I don't know what I did, though. What they told me I did, was ridiculous. I didn't do it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no human looked at this. That's what the problem with YouTube is. They keep saying that a human looks at it, and no humans are actually looking at it. No human looked at that and said anything. So Zodiac. Oh, wow. I could add that. Okay. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Go back to YouTube. Somebody told me, go back to YouTube. I love it. Observing chaos. Shout out to this person. Shout out to this person, y'all. Oh, he's not in the chat. He left a comment on the stream. Told me, go back to YouTube. All right. I like it. But I like it here. I want to stay here. I like it here. All right. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I want to see what your girl has to say. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty wild. So, okay, PSYOP. Y'all definitely got me on PSYOP. Y'all got me on Fed Slop. Zionist is on my list. Zionist is on the list. Here, since I can't do anything else. Hold on 1 second. Bang. Right here. Here, while we're waiting for her to come on. All right, I'll just pull it in real quick and we can all see it. There we go. Group project. There we go. All right, so, and I'll make sure, maybe I'll have to go back to YouTube, but Israel did it. Macron's plane, a claim with no receipts, random text or tip, Andrew Colvett, my gut, Neff, Trump, they, I don't know, but I know, hunch, betrayal, military, I just sense, Cabot Phillips, timeline shout out, the Jews, Jewish donors, my sources, I have messages, leaks, weird, I don't like, calling an expert a liar, TPUSA, feds, FBI, any kinds of bots, CIA, calling out, and make sure I got this right. Okay. Calling out random country, Erica, best friend, Mitch Snow, Kanye West, patchwork theories, I have proof, but influencers, vibes, FOIA, not grieving right. All right. Those are the words. And what I'll do, I'll put this, I'll just have to do a community post because it's too many words and Twitter won't allow me to put them up there without it looking weird. So Paramount Tactical, I love it. All right. I love it. Maroon shirts. But see, she hasn't said that again, though. She realizes how crazy that is. She realized, oh, there goes observing chaos. There you go. Told me to go back to YouTube. There we go. Shout out to you. She doesn't say it anymore because I think she realizes how insane that was. I really think she realizes. Even Candace, I think, has moments of clarity where she's like, yeah, that one might have been a lap too far. Even she does, I think, in my estimation, based upon information and belief. Everybody, you got your bingo boards. Please do me a favor and go ahead and get your board ready. Get your beverage of choice. If you're going to have some popcorn, chips, anything of that nature, get yourself ready. It's 2026, and let's go ahead and make fun of Candace in real time. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for jumping in. Hey, I apologize, but I appreciate, man, there's almost 700 of y'all, 669 of y'all that have jumped in. Thank y'all so much for hopping in. I really appreciate it. It means a lot that y'all came and checked your boy out, even though I'm over here in YouTube jail. I'm in YouTube jail. Oh, and by the way, I did get an upgrade. I am no longer a maroon shirt assassin. Tomorrow, my new upgrade should be here. So I'll let you all know what my new colors will be as I got a new upgrade. I got a little job increase, a little pay raise, 2026, got a little, performance review, did pretty well. So I'm moving up from maroon, but every now and then I still will rock with the maroon. I help out my maroon brothers and sisters, but I got a pay raise, a pay grade increase. So you'll see it real soon. My hoodie should be here soon. So I can't take it seriously though, man. I cannot take any of this serious. So I do apologize ahead of time. If you need me to take things seriously, I'm just going to tell you right now, my mama's firstborn son is not taking anything seriously. Okay. I'm going to laugh at Candace. I'm going to make fun of her. I don't care. I'm just going to make fun of this. And that's all we can do. At this point, we're just going to laugh at it and we're just going to have a great time making fun of Candace and Cantifa. By the way, I forgot, it's a new year, Cantifa, y'all know y'all still got seats up here in the front of the church, even though we're on a field trip. Come on up here to the front of the church. If you decide that you no longer want to be a member of Cantifa, the ushers and deacons have the trash receptacles. Go on and throw your Cantifa membership card in there. Join us on the best live chat, the most electrifying comment section on the internet. Join us. We're just having a great time. And we're just going to keep making fun of it. So if you get in your feels, it's your fault because we're not going to stop. Not even a little bit. We're on a field trip. Because your boy's on YouTube jail until further notice. No, it's not. See, that's what I'm saying. Okay, let me go ahead and put this community post because Candace is starting her show late. Let me go on and do that community post right now. And I'll drop the link to it on the in the chat in a second. All right. What words need to be retired? What words need to be added? Maybe we do like a vote. We'll put all the words. Okay. I just put up the community post right now. Bada boom, bada bing. That's there. All right. Now let me give y'all the link so y'all can come check it out. There we go. Oh, here, I just dropped. Got it. And then I put it on Twitter as well. And I'm getting kind of Twitter proficient, your boy is. Yes, I am. I'm getting a little proficient here in this old Twitter streets. Shout out to him. All right, here we go here. All right, and bang. All right. The community post, I just dropped it in the chat. There you go for you. I just dropped it in there for you. And, shout out, if you are somebody that is proficient, I will say this though. If you use StreamYard and you are proficient in streaming to Rumble, or if you're in StreamYard and you're proficient in streaming on other platforms and you got some ideas or you learn some little hacks to make it easier to quickly pick and build the stream, I'll listen to it. But only if you're like proficient. Don't be like, look, I'm trying to figure it out too. Because look, we all trying to figure it out. All God's children trying to figure it out. Right. So if you're proficient at it, hit your boy up, dearwokec@gmail.com. I would definitely want to hear what you got to say. And if you have some insight that can help me out with it. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand how it's possible that somebody could take Mitch seriously. Like, even if you believe, even if you think that he's on the nose about Brian Harpo, Erica Kerr, Cabot, Phillips, all these other people, you at least got to start questioning. Like, hold on, man, this dude's stories. This dude has like the worst luck on the planet. This dude's story is bananas. Here she comes, ladies and gentlemen. No
All right, you guys, happy new year. I hope you missed me because I definitely missed you. I have so much to say.
Her audio is super low
It is
again.
the year 2026, and I am feeling sparkly and brand new. New show icon, new YouTube and Rumble banner. I'm even wearing a new shirt that I got for Christmas.
It's
This is
maroon.
why it truly pains me to report that our government is up to the same old bed sloppy tricks. Speaking of which, many of you have already messaged me regarding the Daily Wire seemingly reactivating my old social media accounts and releasing an old promo, an old trailer rather, from when I used to work with them. It's very confusing, but I have the answer for why it happened. And no, of course, it did not happen because I said it could. It did not have my permission. I'm going to tell you what those guys are up to. I'm a little bit terrified. There's been a lot that has transpired over the last 2 weeks while we were off air. Many things that I have wanted to respond to. So buckle up because it is going to be a long week. And I suspect it might therefore also be a very long year. Welcome back to Candace.
That girl is wild, y'all. All right. This woman is wild work. Let's go. We're here to make fun of her, though. Make sure you got your bingo boards. Let's go.
Where should we begin? I'm going to begin with Johnny. I ran into an 11-year-old boy at the bakery this weekend, and his name is Johnny. He's from St. Louis, and he watches my show every single day with his mother. I thought that
His
was
mom
really
is
sweet, and I
Jesus.
told him that when I was back, I was going to shout him out on the very first episode of the new year. So happy new year to Johnny from Missouri. Happy new year, actually, to everyone except for Andrew Colvett,
Andrew.
spokesperson of Turning Point USA, who has been working behind the scenes to have me smeared. Yeah, Andrew, you got caught. And today I sentence you to truth. And that's never a good thing for people who lie on my name, okay? I always have things that I'm keeping, and I know some things about you that now the public is going to know. And before I tell you guys how Andrew got caught, and I mean caught, I'm talking hand in the cookie jar, red-handed, orchestrating attacks against me via obscure YouTubers, I would like to at first go back and revisit Turning Point USA's end of year conference,
USA.
AmFest, supposed to be America Fest, because I was not on air for all of it. I was just on air for the beginning. And I have a lot of things that I feel that I need to get off of my chest about that event.
Tell
It's never
us.
too late. And I want to say this also. History books, they're not going to be fair to me. I think we know that. When I am long gone from this earth, the history books are not going to tell the truth about the things that I did. They're not going to tell the truth about my contributions. But I want to be clear that I want to be remembered.
It is the amount of pride and arrogance that I cannot take. How in the world do you really believe that history books are going to be written about you? Now, I jokingly say that I do say that college courses are going to be written about Candace Owens. I understand what she's trying to say. But ma'am, we know you believe that history books are going to be written about you. Like, we know that. That's some crazy work, y'all. That is some insane work in 4K. No, we're not rage quitting. We can't rage quit. In 2026, we left rage quitting in 2025. We are going to hold on tight. I got my seatbelt on, and I've got my finger off the rage quit button.
As the person who was holding the internet back. Last year, I was in earnest holding the internet back. Everyone was coming at Turning Point USA, at all these allegations. And I was like, no, chill, just give them some time. Everybody grieves differently. Just give them some time.
Grieves differently? Oh, did I hit pause? Sorry.
It's just different. But now I quit, okay? Hands down, I am letting the internet go. I am done, okay? I'm already the media's public enemy number one, but now
Wow.
I feel ready to fully embrace that. I want to let that hit me like a tidal wave because there was one solitary thing amongst a great many other things, I should add, but there was one solitary thing that happened at AmFest, which was the straw that broke this camel's back. What do you guys think it was? What
Jesus.
do you think it was that happened at AmFest?
Jesus.
That just sent me over the edge.
The
Before we
gospel.
hone in on that detail, I think the bird's eye view of AmFest is that it looks like a convention for a pyramid scheme. I think that's fair. I think that is a fair interpretation of everything that we
Wow.
watched. The conference looked and felt like a weekend in Las Vegas, like Disney World for adults, because that's what Las Vegas is. It's like Disney World for adults, or rather, adults at Disney World with no kids, because there was something about it that was disturbing. And I think that the comedian Tim Dillon did a fantastic job of summing up how everybody felt watching it. Here is what he had to say. And I'd like to remind you, you should be mad at Tim Dillon and not at me. He's the person that is saying,
But you're
funny
playing
part
it though.
out loud. Take a listen.
This turning point kind of abomination that the right wing of this country has turned into like a bad reality show. And it's all of the fault of everyone, by the way. It's the fault of everyone speaking and everyone attending, and there's nobody that gets everything about this is weird and uncomfortable for everyone. And I'm not saying she killed her husband or knew about it or whatever. I'm saying the guy got shot 3 months ago, and she walks out to a pyrotechnic display, and then she goes, "We're going to elect J.D. Vance." It's weird that that's where her head is at. It's difficult for many people to relate to. It's not relatable for people that talked about how Hollywood isn't relatable and Hollywood is out of touch. This looks a lot like Hollywood to most people. And to go out through a stream of fireworks and sparklers and stand there in a glittering pantsuit and talk about electing J.D. Vance 3 months after your husband was killed, many people feel that there is something off about that. And we're starting to see that political people are the exact same thing as the Hollywood elites that they all love to dunk on. And we all look at this. This is Megan Thee Stallion twerking at the Kamala
Wow.
rally. This is deeply unsettling to a lot of people.
Wow.
It feels like you're being played. You feel it. It
No.
seems off. You feel
Okay. All right. This gentleman really wants you to feel he keeps saying it. But what if you didn't feel that? I watched quite a bit of it. I didn't feel that way at all. I knew it was a political rally. I knew it was a political-esque conference, and I expected politics to be in there. What was I expecting? What should it have been? I don't understand. If it's a political rally or conference, America Fest, what should they be talking about? I don't understand. This dude, they really want this to be, they want to create a narrative and they really want it to be true. Okay, let's go.
like this is a coordinated and choreographed spectacle so that you are played. They want your money. That's what they got mad at Candace about. They're like, why are you telling people not to give us money? She's also saying you killed the guy. Why are you mad about the money? They're just mad that they're not getting money. They want your money, and they want to be celebrities.
Wow.
Okay, so that's an honest take. that is just a very honest take. And you can be mad at Tim Dillon. You can be mad at me for playing Tim Dillon on this show, or you can be someone that's concerned about the direction that the Republican Party is taking, and you can recognize that that's the truth. Okay. You can keep deluding yourself.
You do realize now she's changed this whole narrative now. Now you're concerned about the direction of the Republican Party. So TPUSA is the rudder for the Republican Party. Now, actually, I do believe that there's a lot of truth to that. But you see now how she's moved from Charlie Kirk to now the whole entire Republican Party. That's crazy work. That is some nasty work in 26.
And you can keep pretending that this is not how the public received this event. This is not how Republicans are feeling. But you would, again, just be deluding yourself. That's the truest take right there on the internet about how people felt when they watched it. It felt like everything that all of us on our platforms said that gave us the ick about Hollywood when they got up on stage and they mocked people that lived between LA and New York City. And they mocked the farmers and the ranchers and people that supported Trump in 2015.
What are you talking
That's
about?
the vibe that it's getting. It feels like we're being mocked. Now, for clarity, that's just broadly speaking. Like, broadly speaking, it was not relatable to the general public to see us.
Again, Candace really wants to create a narrative. I believe this is what gaslighting is. You know what? I think I'm going to do now that I'm stuck on Rumble. Now I'm stuck on Twitter. I guess we can do it. We can do a watch party and watch the movie Gaslight. Maybe we'll do that real soon. But this is gaslighting in 4K. She's saying what the whole United States is feeling. The entire Republican Party feels like this. Everybody who has a black baseball cap on felt this way. She's speaking on behalf of them. Raise your hand if you really believe she even understands a third of the people on her block, what they think, much less the whole internet, much less the whole Republican Party. This is just dumb. This is just dumb. All right, but let's keep it going. I'm gonna bring her back in. Shout out to the best live chat.
Situation where a man is murdered in broad daylight and the company that he built allows the very people who hated that man while he was still alive to simply pay enough money to speak main stage and pretend that they were best buds. There's something about that people just can't relate to. Like, yeah, Ben Shapiro didn't really like Charlie when he was alive, but he gave us $1 million. So he's going to be.
She's just saying that.
He's going to be on AmFest. He's going to walk out right after Erica Kirk opens up AmFest. And we just sort of expect the public to be fine with that. That actually happened. Now, maybe Turning Point USA is not striving for relatability, and that's fine. Money can, in fact, be your motive. But for me, when it moved toward becoming an abomination, the thing that sent me over the edge was when I saw the tent. Okay, I am never going to get over this tent. I could spend a week discussing this tent. I could probably do a month of content describing what it was like for me when I saw the tent and how I felt seeing the tent and what this tent actually now represents. What am I referring to? Let's take a listen to a reporter who was at AmFest describe the scene behind her in the hallway outside of the speaking area. Take a listen.
And you can see from behind me, this is a recreation of the tent where Charlie Kirk lost his life at Utah University in September, and people are taking selfies with it.
Okay.
I cannot. I am not capable of.
We don't care, Candace. We really don't care. I'm going to just interrupt real quick. Okay. Initially, I thought the same thing. I spoke to some people who were at AmFest. This was not the tent that Charlie Kirk, they weren't trying to recreate it. And apparently they've had these tents up before. And it's so that people can, of course, take pictures there. Yes, you are 1,000% correct. They're not doing it to like take pictures of where Charlie Kirk was murdered at, though. I really hope that makes sense. I don't necessarily think that they should have did it myself. I understand, if I'm understanding correctly, they've had him before. So this is not the first time they've ever had the tent up. So you can take a picture in the booth as if you were having a debate or if you were talking to a group of people. I understand it. I don't know if it really, I probably wouldn't have done it. Jason probably wouldn't have done it just on principle. But they've done it before. So it's not like this is a one-off situation. Like, oh, I got this great idea. So Candace knows that she's saying something that's incorrect. I mean, really, I think this is a great point. The tent is was a landmark to Charlie's podium, right? That's the thing. Like, it's just like if you went to Ebenezer Baptist Church and you stood behind the podium that MLK spoke at, or when you go, I mean, there's a lot of places like that. And I don't think it's as bad as she's trying to make it sound like. I would not have done it, and somebody would have done it. And that's perfectly cool. I ain't got no problem with you. I got no problem with you. No beef. So I'm not. So for her to act like she has such, because you do realize that she's positioning herself as a much higher moral standard than anybody else. I have a higher standard of morality than you do. Right? You are down here in the great unwashed, the hoi polloi. But my moral compass is true north, and I'm better than you. I'm better than the people at Turning Point. I'm better than the people that Charlie left in the organization. I am better than them. That's what she's saying.
Whatever that, when I saw this, I realized I do not know enough words. I had to consult a thesaurus, and I still could not land upon the correct adjective to describe how I felt when I saw that tent, people taking selfies under a recreation. I don't know if it's actually the tent. It looks like it's pretty old, or a tent that Charlie died under. That's what was happening at AmFest. Horrified. I was aghast. I don't think I described myself as aghast. I was aghast. It was ghastly to look at that and to realize that they made a conscious decision to allow that to happen. What end?
You have such a greater moral compass.
I messaged people,
Candace,
inside of Turning Point. I said, I want to know who approved this, because I know what's going to come next. You're going to say, oh, we don't know how it happened, and it's something fell through the cracks, and so much was going on. We had no idea the tent that Charlie died on was being brought in as a display. We had no idea that was happening. So I messaged and I said, who did this? Who approved this? I want to know, because I have no authority to fire these people, but I want to pretend like I can fire the people who made this decision, everyone involved. And the answer that I got, you're not going to believe this, or you will believe this, that the person who approved this tent was the amazing Elizabeth McCoy. Potentially more amazing than her husband, Michael McCoy. Elizabeth McCoy was the person who approved this tent. So there's no way that they can come out and pretend like Erica didn't know this was happening, because she's very close with Elizabeth McCoy. Okay, she's very close with her.
So
for
let me make sure I got it right. I just want to know if anybody has anybody's gone to AmFest, let me know. Because again, I spoke to people this year that have gone, and they've gone years past. That tent has been there before. So if you don't mind, can you confirm or deny, just so we got another corroboration, this is not a one-off scenario. Again, I probably wouldn't have done it, but I'm not mad that they did it. I can see both sides of it, and I would have been fine either way. But it just seems, don't rage quit. I ain't got bingo yet. I got to start doling out bingos in a second. So, this freeze frame. Hold on, we gotta get that freeze frame. That is dope. I got so many of these faces, y'all. Y'all stop this. Okay, let's go.
Everybody on the outside looking into this, AmFest is when we realized that something very disturbing is happening in America. I feel like AmFest or what it did for me was it contributed to my realization that the future, the dark future that everyone's always predicting, like the AI future, it's here. We're actually here. I think that we are fighting machines. I think that these people are not humans, that they're sentinels that maybe look like humans. That's how
I got to hear again. I can't stand this woman. All right, I'm going to give y'all bots. That was it. Hey, AI, that's going to be bots, y'all, for sure. I got TPUSA. I just sense tip line shout out, weird, Andrew Colvet, and I got my free space. Well, like, yeah, Candace, go live in the UK. Go live in the UK. Like, do that. Do it. No, we're not human now. It's funny because I think Candace really does get offended when people say that, because remember a couple weeks ago, she accused her detractors of being bots. The people who were pushing back against Mitch Snow, they were being bots. And she called her audience bots, and they were very offended by that. I think she's trying to push back on that again. That, well, not you, but the people that at TPOSA are the bots. Little House Blues. Anyway, y'all, let's get this back up. We got to get done with this craziness. We're going to get done. We're going to get done today. We're not rage quitting.
I feel like it's the single solitary event that contributed to my realization that the future is happening right now. And the issue that a lot of these, the gap that's between us and the rest of them is essentially they don't know how to behave like humans. You know what I mean? Like we're fighting an algorithm, a computer code that is presenting as a human being, but actually it can't comprehend real human emotion. And the programmers can't quite write the code specifically enough to emulate real human emotion. And so in response, they're just multiplying the sentinels. Like they're sending more of them to say and do things that are obviously abnormal, that are obviously inhumane. And they're hoping that with enough of them pretending like it's fine, they can override our humanity. Like, well, everyone's saying this is fine, so it has to be fine. Everyone's saying it's fine, so it absolutely is fine. And there's something wrong with you if you don't realize why it's fine that we're hanging up this tent and taking pictures and selfies under it. I don't know. There's something wrong with you. You're just upset or something.
What are you talking about?
The results of what's happening right now, and Tim Dillon is about to explain this, and I have a lot of Tim Dillon clips because he just spoke to me.
No more Tim Dillon,
take on everything.
please.
But the result is that right now what's happening in this country and really all over the world is that everything feels weird and wrong. That's why I kept saying last year that everything is fake and gay. It feels like we're watching a movie. It feels like we're all in the Truman Show and everyone around us are actually robots. And things have gotten so abnormal that even things that should be abnormal, like RFK sexting, which is what Tim Dillon's about to describe, feels like that's the most normal thing going on. Take a listen to Tim Dillon.
What a profoundly dysfunctional society we have. There's nothing to look up to. There's no one to be excited about. Really, the least controversial member of this administration is RFK Jr. Can you imagine? He's the least scandal-prone member of the administration. And every 3 days, there's another text leaking from him where he's like, open your mouth. I want to put my seed in you. And that's somehow the best part of this whole thing. His sex are nowhere near as, scandalous as like Kash Patel, the FBI director, is sitting there updating you on his girlfriend's country music tour. It's hell. It's absolutely hell. And Erica Kirk, God bless, tragic, and I'm sorry for what happened, but nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out. She's out there talking to Nicki Minaj. People are confused. What?
I'm sorry. If this is going to be Candace in 26, she's done. It's a wrap. Y'all, we can go ahead and start turning off the lights. Go ahead and pull this DJ, you can stop. This is going to be a mess. If this is going to be how she moves and how she presents herself and just using this guy as her, this is going to be crazy work.
What's going on? Those are the three words that sum up this whole entire mess that we've created for ourselves.
He's right. What is going on sums up how we all feel right now. And I also would like to mention here another confusing parts that we kind of didn't discuss enough. Another confusing part of that Barry Weiss interview that we should discuss.
What did that have to do with the tent? Allegedly, the tent was the biggest thing popping. Now, I do want to make sure, you know what? I'm feeling gracious because Jason was right. I was correct. Well, Jason, what were you correct about? I was correct. I told you all when Candace Owens comes back on in January, she is not going to mention Fort Hawktua. She was not going to talk about it. And you know what? I am correct. So because I am correct at that, I am going to give you anybody who needs, well, first of all, she said YouTubers, so that's going to be influencers. I'm going to give you a claim without receipt. I'm going to give you that. And if you need Neff, you can have that as well. Yes, I do cheat at bingo because I want everybody to win at bingo. So if you're new to my bingo game, have no fear. You're probably going to win next time. Trust me, you were going to win today. Everybody's going to win. Everybody. I did not expect this one. I thought she was going to say military sooner. But anyway, I knew she was not going to mention that doggone Hawk Tua, and she has not mentioned it. Now, she might still, but at the moment, she has not talked about it. Let's bring it back in. Candace, where are you going? Let's go.
More. Everyone was making TikToks about the stop, just stop. But actually, the most effed up part about that interview was CBS's decision to bring Hunter Kozak to ask Erica a question. Again, who approved this? I want to know. I want to know who thought it up and who said, okay, yes, let's do it, because everyone involved in that process is what I think we're fighting right now. I think these are robots. There's no way that
Autobots, roll out
that idea, and then a team of people at CBS approve it. Again, they wanted to recreate the moment that Charlie died. But this time his wife was going to survive it. Hunter Kozak, last time we all saw him, Charlie died. Very wise. Bring him back. Erica's going to survive it. Now, to the computer programmers, I want you to know that to us humans looking into that, the part that you're missing is post-traumatic stress, displaced anger. Like, technically, Hunter Kozak didn't do anything wrong on that day at UVU, but I hate him anyways. That's how I feel. I hate him anyway. I don't ever want to hear his voice ever again, because he's the last person on earth that tried to stress out Charlie Kirk, right? Asking him a stupid question about transgenderism, and then Charlie died. So it's not fair, but I don't like Hunter Kozak. I just don't. And I think that that's a normal human feeling.
Nope, it's not. Oh my gosh, what a great face, Jason. Oh, y'all, Santa Claus brought me some great Candace faces in 2026. Y'all, I'm going to keep saying it. And I know people are going to keep trying to deny me and fix me and tell me that I'm wrong. Candace is not a Christian. She's literally saying she hates a man for no reason. That's some crazy work. You're going to search high and you're going to search low to find me saying anything like I hate Candace Owens. It don't exist, because I don't. I pray that she gets saved and that she repents of her sins and turns to Christ in trusting salvific faith. But I don't hate the woman. She literally hates a man for no reason. That's crazy work, y'all. That is some grade A, homegrown, weaponized craziness. Military grade craziness. All right, let's keep this going, because yeah, I nailed that one. I got that one good. That was pretty savage. You hate everybody. Yeah, Candace hates everybody. A better question is, Candace, who do you actually care about? Apart from George and your kids and your immediate family, who do you actually love? That should be a question I would love to hear answered. Let's go.
Right? Bringing him back to finish asking a question. Like, this time, Hunter's going to get to ask his question. That's not relatable to the rest of us. It actually makes people who have a soul feel icky. So I want everyone to watch that moment. I want to invite you to go backward and to rewatch that moment and the manner in which Barry Weiss tees up this excruciatingly odd question. Take a listen.
Erica, as you know, the last person that Charlie ever spoke to was a Utah Valley student named Hunter Kozak. He was asking Charlie a question that day when he was shot, and he's here tonight, and he wants to ask you a question.
Hi there.
So it doesn't matter what the question is. I wanted to tee that up so you could see it. How does that make you feel? How weird is that? The way that I feel when I watch that clip is like when Barry Weiss goes home at night, she just plugs herself into the wall to charge. That's how I feel. I just feel like we're just different. I don't know what species that is or what computer program that is, but I can't relate to that. I can't relate to the idea that if Jackie O a few months later decided to...
Yeah, tell me something. And am I off? Am I off in this? Why is Candace making so much? She's making using a lot of energy to tell you that these people are not human. Have you realized this? They're sentinels, they're bots, they're AI, they're robots. Why not just humans that you disagree with? Why not humans that you just disagree with? Because I think you can make a case that you disagree, and I don't think many people probably would argue with you a lot about it. But why do they have to be non-human, Candace? That just seems so odd that you would say that this person isn't a human. This person is go plug some, what'd you say? Plug yourselves into the wall. How weird. Why is that you're using this type of language for people that you disagree with? It is odd. That's just an odd take. I've never heard her. When I even put robots on the bingo board, I'm like, oh, she doesn't talk about it that much. Well, look what we got here.
Do interviews that they would be like, hey, Jackie, are you down with like getting back into the car and we're going to drive back to the spot in Dallas, but don't worry, this time you're going to survive. Same people are going to be in the audience, but this time you're going to, first going to recreate that. That's weird. So the real question that I have going into this year is how many of us humans are left? That's my energy in this year. How many humans are actually left? Because I think the war is already happening. And also,
wow,
what's going to happen now? What's in the forecast for humanity in 2026? Because we've clearly woken up to the fact that everything is fake and gay. And we are therefore now reaching an inflection point. The people that rule over us, they tried it the nice way, I guess. They increased the pageantry. They used even more pyrotechnics and fireworks, and it seems like we're not biting.
Wait. They use more pyrotechnics and fireworks? More compared to what? More compared to what? And I think you all probably know. They've done this every year. They do fireworks every year, pyrotechnics every year. So it's not something new. So maybe you should say that.
Still talking about Brigitte Macron being born a dude.
Shout out to the Macrons.
Still talking about the Epstein files. I'm sorry. So what's the next step? What's going to happen? Are they going to just get crazier? Yeah, I think the answers last year taught us yes. They want to start rewriting laws. They want to bankrupt people for knowing the truth. A real headline today, by the way, Brigitte Macron, who was quite literally born a male, and who quite literally committed statutory rape under the then French law against a 14-year-old student, has successfully secured a conviction against 11 people in France for cyberbullying.
Mm-hmm.
And the media is now, of course, trotting that out, pretending that that's proof that she's a woman. No, it is proof that France has now created laws and are willing to try people for telling the truth if the person who is lying feels bullied. That's what that means, just so we're clear. So if Rachel Dolezal is, as she is, actually born Caucasian and she's presenting as Black, and you go online and you say, hey, you're actually a white girl, she could sue you if she feels cyberbullied. That's what's happening in Paris. And I think that's
only in France, though. France laws are different. And Candace knows this. And she knows her low IQ Cantifa members. Yes, I did say that Cantifa members have low IQs. I'm just going to say that. She knows that their smooth brains are not going to be able to grasp that that's in France. That does not play a role here in the United States. Now, it could add some complexity to the United States because now the Macrons are coming across the pond with another W. You might need to reconsider. And I think what the problem is, Candace is really upset about the fact that she knows she's not going to be able to get out of this lawsuit. If they don't offer her a plea deal, if they don't offer a settlement, she's not a plea deal. If they don't offer a settlement, she's not going to be able to get out of this. That's why she keeps mentioning bankruptcy. If you notice that, she's mentioning bankruptcy a lot. And the reason being is because she's going to probably get taken to the cleaners. I'm pretty sure the Macrons have full intention of taking her to the cleaners. If you go look, the people that lost the case, I did the video this morning, they're paying like 10,000 euros, each one of them, because of this. Plus on top of lawyer fees, on top of loss of work and all these other things. They're probably financially ruined, pretty close to it. And she knows that's what they're coming to do to her. She knows that. So it's funny because now she's saying that she's standing on business that Brigitte Macron was determined a man. But you do know that Brigitte Macron has won other cases on this topic. And Candace doesn't talk about those. I just think that's adorable. But okay. All right, let's keep this dance going. Let's go. Let's go.
It's kind of an understanding of what they're trying to make happen here in America. The deep state is insisting on passing speech laws, and they're going to attempt to bankrupt me for knowing the truth about Brigitte. Now, this is a longer clip, and it is so worth listening to because it's brilliant. I honestly think this is dark comedic brilliance from Tim Dillon. Again, perfectly explaining this exact moment in time that we are all in. So to tee this up correctly, essentially, Tim is discussing how our modern world and culture, we are all starting to realize, was created by powerful people who are into kids, like Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my gosh.
And yet the media just wants us to move on and keep going. So take a listen to what he says here. He's just kind of recapping the moment that we are in right now.
Okay, I'm making a decision because this is kind of gross. I'm sorry. Candace really is infatuated with assaults on children. I don't know why she talks about it a lot, way more than I think is normal. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm making a judgment call. I'm not going to play that. I'm just going to skip through it. I don't know what this guy is saying. He might say that JWhit is the greatest person on the planet. I'm just going to skip that because I don't need to hear about assaults on children. And we know this. I don't understand what is the purpose and the spirit behind needing to bring that up. I don't know what does that do? So I'm making a determination, but have no fear, everybody, because I made that judgment. I made an audible call in the middle of the game. You can have Kanye West on your bingo board, and you can also have, I'm surprised she hasn't said it. You can have, I think she's going to talk about Maduro. So I think CIA is going to catch the strays. All right. You can also have best friend. All right. There you go. Because I know I might have thrown you off. I know you might have really wanted to hear what this dude was saying, you know, because he's just such a luminary of insight and wisdom. I don't need to hear that. Why does Candace never play anything that builds people up in their faith? Why is that? Like, why is that not her position? Her default position is chaos, fascism, some kind of perversion. Like, I never hear her talk about redemption for these people needing Christ, these people need to get saved, these people need to repent and turn from their sins. Why does she never do that? Why is that? And remember, this woman professes that she's a Christian, but she never talks about Christ. It's crazy work. All right, let's go. Let's go.
A culture that has produced this one.
I just had to play that in its entirety because it's brilliant. It spoke to my soul when I heard it. That how I
says
felt
something.
last year. I'm like, hey guys, like, a lot going on right now, and it feels like they're just giving us more stuff, more materialism, more trash music, glittery suits, pyrotechnics. Don't understand that we are perhaps being run by society's being run by incredibly evil people, and it's been happening for a very long time. And I don't really care about the new iPhone that's dropping. I don't care if you got into Mar-a-Lago last night. There's something more important that's happening here. And the droids keep droiding, right? They're fighting us, and they're just kind of telling us that we have to accept this culture, and we're saying no. So I guess in summary, the battle lines have very clearly been drawn this year. You now have to decide what side you're going to take. Are you with the Sentinels? Are you with the human beings? I've decided very clearly, but I'm with the people.
Right. Like, are you with the Sentinels? So, or are you with the humans? So the people that are against Candace, the people that disagree with Candace, the people that push back against Candace are not human. That's such a weird place to be. But isn't that brand for her though? Isn't that brand for her? I think so.
And I'm done holding them back because all of this is
You're holding them back.
Weird. And we're going to discuss even more weirdness that's going on. First, we're going to take a brief break and throw it to our sponsors.
She got to throw it to them sponsors.
You are trying to get help.
She got to throw it to them sponsors, y'all. Them sponsors got to get them. She got to get their ad read in there. I just think this is an interesting start to 26. I'm I'm very interested in how this is going to play out. Somebody asked what I'm going to do with this video when it's over. Team Sentinel is crazy. What I'm going to do when this video is over, I'm going to take the video and I'm going to upload it onto YouTube and run it as a premiere video. So for those people that are missing it or not able to get over here, they'll be able to check it out. I'm checking. I don't know when I'll get out of the sin bin, out of the penalty box with YouTube. So I'll just be here until further notice. I'm just going to give y'all a heads up on that. Thank y'all so much for jumping in, though, for sure. I really do appreciate it. You know what? Candace is done. Let's get back. Let's go.
Discuss Fort Huachuca before we get
Oh,
there.
Huachuca.
About an hour before we went live, a bunch of people were messaging me saying that the Daily Wire had brought back my old YouTube channel. They had seemingly deleted it. Apparently, they just privatized it, and they brought it back. And as you could see, they premiered an old trailer from when I was joining the Daily Wire. And if this wasn't a mistake, this was not a mistake because they put a card in the front that said this was shot in 2021. So what are they doing? They also did the same thing on Instagram. My old Instagram channel, they re-released my trailer from when I was first joining them. So clearly they're trying to get attention for something.
They're trolling you.
And I can tell you what that something is. I love scooping people when they're just being weird. First, I should say I did have a little bit of sympathy over this break. I would like to apologize to the midget horse. The midget horse never deserved the FU. There's nothing wrong with being a midget horse. And yeah, I was a little fired up and I attacked a small horse that probably did nothing wrong, if I'm being honest. Now, more broadly speaking, the reason I had sort of snapped at the end of last year is that it has been a very long road, as I showed you an example of me just trying to be fired like a normal person. Just so you guys know, in a normal world, your employer, if they fire you, that should be the last you hear of them. You should not then have them follow you to events, calling people to try to get you canceled from speaking events, putting pressure on people, lawsuits. That's actually toxic. And when I said to people that it was getting to a point where I felt like I was being stalked by them, I said this like privately. I said, I genuinely feel like when you break up with someone and you have a crazy ex, that was how it felt like being fired from the Daily Wire. Except in this circumstance, the ex broke up with you, but then I guess like maybe changed their mind or just didn't want to see you move on and be happy or successful. There was an element of this that felt, and I truly am not trying to be dramatic here, it felt like a crazy ex-stalker. Like,
when were you not? When are you not being dramatic, Candace? But this is a great question. Thank you, Jenny. Where's the proof? Where's the proof that they were doing these things? I do see that they did, whatever with the video. Okay, fine. But you're saying that this has been going on, so on and so forth. So where's the proof? Show us the evidence that actually happened. There we go. Who keeps stopping this woman I don't know. She's making some great faces in 26. She's making some great faces. I'm going to have to put together a montage of all of these clips I've made because I have a ton. All right, let's go.
If I can't have you, nobody can have you.
Oh my gosh. Kind of like you're doing with Charlie.
So to connect this point, to build this corollary for you guys, that was how I felt. That was what I was expressing to you at the end of last year, that I was done with it, right? I was like, I'm leaving Daily Wire in 2025, come hell or high water. Well, they want hell or high water because it turns out the reason they're doing this and doing it on my channel is because they are trying to hard launch a young woman named Madison Bransford. Okay. Now she's apparently an intern at the Daily Wire. And they're basically dropping like an iCarly type Nickelodeon feel show where she's going to make fun of me. And the show is entitled In the No-No because apparently they watch every second of my show, which they've been doing for a very long time. They used to send clips and have people make fun of me when I was first getting started. And so now, because they still can't let me go, and since Ben is now on stage bringing me up and saying, we don't know, but we know, like it's giving crazy ex-stalker. They're now launching a show with this girl. I'm sure she's a lovely human being. It's basically like they tried to find someone that's similar to Brett, but it's not at all because it's not mature. And she's just going to make fun of this show. So that's what the Daily Wire has in store. I'm sorry to have scooped you on this new brilliant idea to hard launch something on my socials of somebody making fun of me. I'm sure you thought that was going to get some like huge applaud. It's weird.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know much about the Daily Wire. I don't watch a lot of the Daily Wire and such like that. That just doesn't seem smart on a lot of different levels. What she said. So they turn back on your channel because they're going to have somebody who looks totally different than you on her channel. That doesn't make sense. I personally believe her sources lied to her, and maybe this young lady, maybe they really are going to drop a show. Maybe it's really going to be called In the Know. But that's a phrase that's very popular. My daughters talk about it. They're in the know. They know what's going on and such. And if you want to say they're in the no, okay. So you've said it so much, Candace. Like, why would you? And they're only going to make fun of you? Well, that's what we do over here. So shout out to them. If they do it, hey, more props to them. Like, why should they not? Maybe that should be a question. What are they doing wrong? That would be my question to Candace. If she asked me, I would ask, well, what is the Daily Wire doing wrong in this? Let's go.
It makes me uncomfortable, if I'm being frank. I'd
Oh, no.
like you guys to move on. I understand now. You're never going to stop. This is just what we are. You're forever going to obsess about everything that I'm doing. I think it's a bad idea. I would kill it if I were you guys, but I see that you've already made a significant investment. And I hope it works out. I hope a person dedicated to making fun of me in the note, I hope it works out for young Maddie.
So what she's doing, by the way, let me go ahead. Dog, that's doxing somebody. I don't know if doxing is on our board still. Oh, I don't know, but I know. There we go. What she's doing is she's trying to poison the well that people won't support the show because they're going to say, oh, she's the young lady is making fun of Candace even before the show comes on. I guarantee you, as soon as they drop the premiere, people are going to be talking about you're making fun of Candace. And where'd they get that from? From Candace. That's it. So they're just trying to poison the well. It doesn't sound like them. I guess. I don't know much about them, but again, Candace deserves every bit of ridicule. I'm trying to understand, why do you think you don't deserve ridicule? The whole town is making fun of you. Oh, I can play songs now. Hey, I'm over here on X. I can play songs. Well, no, I can't, because if I put the video on YouTube, they'll take it down. Aha. But anyway, yeah, this is crazy work. Let's go. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Let me know if you need another word so we can next commercial break. We'll knock out some more words on this bingo board. Let's go.
We now need to turn our attention back now that we've recapped how I'm feeling about the new year. We obviously have to discuss Fort Huachuca because it seems to have driven people insane. Okay? Insane. People are losing their minds ever since we mentioned Fort Huachuca, which signals to everybody that Mitch is telling the truth.
No,
okay?
It doesn't.
Now, I should tell you that if Charlie were alive today, they'd be calling him demonic. They'd be calling him possessed. They'd be saying that he was crazy for not trusting the government because he was honest. He had an honest perspective about psychological operations.
Notice what she just did there. Notice what she did. She inserted Charlie. If Charlie was here, they call him demonic. What are you talking about? If Charlie were here, what would we be talking about? Let me sneeze real quick. About to sneeze again. Okay, but if Charlie were here, what would we be talking about? So she's using the credibility of Charlie, and she's going to try to weave in the uncredible behavior, the discredited behavior of Mitch Snow. This is some crazy work, y'all. We are watching a grade A fool right here. Let's go.
Noticed them. He knew the government was behind these psychological operations, just like the one they have put in place since Charlie was assassinated. Here's what Charlie had to say back in October of 2024 regarding the CIA and MK Ultra. He is speaking with Justice Smith. Take a listen.
Do you think the MK Ultra project ever actually ended, or just went?
No,
under
we
a
have.
new
I
name?
mean, we have no evidence that it ended. And I mean, also we have Operation Mockingbird too, which was another CIA program, which was that they were going to take over all the news networks and have symmetry in their broadcast communications. No, the Central Intelligence Agency is actively involved in mind manipulation of people here domestically. And that is completely against the CIA charter. You must understand, we have Congress, and they're just kind of like a peanut gallery. And then we have a super government that exists above Congress of the Department of Defense, which is the Pentagon, the Central Intelligence Agency, which is its own thing out in Langley, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They run the country. The intel agencies run the country.
I
The
agree.
people don't run the country. The executive branch doesn't run the country. This is why they hate Trump, because Trump was the first candidate since JFK to actually want to declare war on the intel agencies and bring the power back to the sovereign. And both him and Kennedy got shot.
Yes, well, I am just in many ways. I think it would just pain Charlie to see everything that's happened since he passed. I think it would just pain him to see what Trump has become. He's become a deep state, obviously, and never have I ever seen a more aggressive psychological operation, or a more obvious operation, for that matter, than everything that the intel agencies have been trying to impart upon the public since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Until, I should say, and relatedly, I saw what happened after we brought up Mitch Snow. Okay, so let's recap what happened in case you forgot. I mentioned Fort Huachuca on my show, and apparently the world exploded and imploded at the exact same time. The story was pretty simple. I was contacted by someone claiming that he was very certain that he saw two people at Fort Huachuca in the days leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Okay, he contacted me specifically about Brian Harpole and Erica Kirk. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to have him on the show, because he saw, to be clear, Erica Kirk on the 8th leaving the Candlewood Inn Hotel on the base on Fort Huachuca. She was with somebody who looked similar to Cabot Phillips. We're going to discuss him tomorrow. And then they were just leaving the hotel. Then he says he sees that Cabot Phillips looking special force type person the next day with Brian Harpole. And he's
real quick. I just thought of this. Notice that this show has been going on for better than 30 minutes. And instead of coming in with this hot take and really teasing this out in the longer portion of her show, she inserts this into the shortest section of her show next to the reading the comments, which is crazy work. And I'm going to say this again. I'm putting this out there. If Candace Owens wants to beat the charges that this show is pre-recorded, then she needs to engage with the live chat in real time. She needs to pull up the comments, just like I do, pull up the comments and interact with them in real time. Not just read them on your screen, but interact with them in real time. That's it. Okay.
He's basically 100% certain he saw Brian Harpole at this top brass meeting that took place on the morning of the 9th, a meeting which was concluding on the morning of the 9th around 7:30 a.m. He sent me all of the receipts to back this up. Okay. Again, wasn't sure if I was going to have him on the show. Felt weird about asking him not to tell us the part about Erica Kirk, because I was more interested, obviously, in the meeting because of the manner that he described it. Like, this is a final meeting before an operation. But what would Brian Harpole be doing there? What sort of an operation are we talking about? Now, we couldn't jump to conclusions at that point, because maybe Brian Harpole was going to say, oh, yeah, I was there. I was there because I was picking up something from my brother. Maybe Erica was going to come out and say, yeah, I was at Fort Huachuca base because my mother has DOD contracts and I'm very familiar with this base and I was going to see a friend. We didn't know what to make of anything other than he said that he saw these two people on different days. Again, to be super clear, he did not see Erica at the meeting on the morning of the 9th. He saw her the night before, allegedly, obviously. That was the allegation. What happened after we allowed Mitch onto the show to share his story was, it was just madness. It was kooky. What happens next is Alex Jones, of all people, the guy who brought us
because your comments were kooky. I like that word kooky. I like that one. That one might need to make a comeback. That was kooky. But even more than that, Candace kind of conveniently skipped, if you will, all of Mitch's backstory, because that's what gives credibility to what Mitch is saying later. And if Mitch has a good backstory and his backstory pans out and it's not this crazy series of unfortunate events, then his story about what he said here might actually have more validity. But he's just telling his story over here at Fort Hawktua, and none of it makes sense. And his backstory is crazy. So real quick, if you are following along, if you need patchwork theories, you can have patchwork theories, because that's all Mitch's story is just a patchwork crazy story. So let us continue. Let us get back to this. Let's go.
The gay frogs. And a couple of YouTubers that nobody had heard of began a very aggressive effort to go after Mitch, right? To say,
hold on,
this guy.
Content creators that nobody knew of? No, everybody that I've seen has been they've been established for years. I like Green Beret Nap Time, Paramount Tactical. They're very established. They're not, nobody's heard of them. That's that stuff. That's that foolishness. That's why nobody can mess with you, Candace.
Is illegitimate. We shouldn't listen to a single word that he says. Quite literally, Alex Jones went onto his show and declared war on me. I've never said a bad word about Alex Jones ever. In fact, only good words. I've spoken about Alex Jones. I said he's always been good to me. I've played clips of him. I said he's very funny. And he's going to act like I've attacked him, never spoke to him about Mitch Snow, nothing. Listen to Alex Jones quite literally declare war on me. And this is over Mitch Snow. Take a listen.
I remember saying to them, like I said, I got to investigate her now. I got a bad feeling. I didn't have a bad feeling. God gave me a good brain. I already knew. I dropped the ball. I apologize. She's a globalist agent. I dropped the ball and I failed you, and I'm sorry. I got to follow my gut every time. It's never wrong. And I saw so much more she did. And I love her people threatening me and all their doxing of people and all that. You think that's going to make me go away? All you did was wake me up like a nuclear test site waking up Godzilla. So just get your asses ready, because you want a war. I want your war. I want it all. I want the doxing. I want the lies. I want the attacks. I'm going to take you on, because you work for the deep state and the Democratic Party and the CIA and MI6, and I see your ass. So you just get ready.
Okay, points for entertaining. I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't know. Good luck. I hope you do it. I hope you go after whoever it is. If the attacks are in the room with you right now, Alex, let us know. Okay. I literally have no idea what he's speaking about. I was off air and Alex Jones was just burying himself, getting fact checked. People are attacking him because he's lying about what I've said. He's pretending it's personal. Like he and I had a conversation, or like I went after him on the show. I don't know what that is. Then I would eventually find out exactly what it is. First, the efforts from Alex Jones and these YouTubers. Well, first, they played like they were friends with him. So you had this Paramount Tactical account in Valhalla who called up Mitch and pretended to be a brother, like a brother in arms. Yeah, brother. Yeah, we're trying to help you. We think, Candace could be potentially funded. This is, Paramount Tactical, potentially working with foreign agents, and like, you're one of us. At the exact same time, they had Ian Carroll calling me, and Ian Carroll was being a friend, and he's like, hey, you should get on the phone with them and you should come out against Mitch, because Mitch is a fraud and Mitch was never in the military and it's going to be really bad for you. Like, you need to make a statement against Mitch. So just to make that clear, they're trying to pressure Mitch to say something against me and trying to pressure me to say something against Mitch, to believe that Mitch was a fraud and to have Mitch believe that I was a fraud. That struck me as odd. I did not take the bait. Then after, through a third party, effectively threatening me and saying that lawsuits were going to be coming if I did not go back on my word of allowing, Mitch to be on my platform and share his story, that there were huge lawsuits coming.
Who said that? Who said it, Candace? Why don't you, at this stage of the game, in 26, leave all ambiguity in 25? Just come out here and say, this person said it. Here's the proof. Here's the evidence. You might not like Alex Jones. I think Alex Jones is a hoot, but you might not like Alex Jones, but you can't say he doesn't try to give you some receipts to some kind of proof about it. I mean, the dude literally prints the doggone tweets up. He don't even just screenshot. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So why don't you, instead of that, Candace, in 2026, in the year of our Lord, use your free will to actually just say who it is. Like, don't dance around. Say who it is, show your proof, show your receipts, because y'all do realize we're no longer going to hear about planes. We have heard about Fort Walktua. I do apologize. We did hear about that. However, let's keep it going.
And I explained to Ian Carroll, I was like, Ian, this is not how lawsuits work. They didn't send me a cease and desist. What have I done wrong here? Then they said that he was never, that it was like stolen valor. He was never in the military. And then they had to admit that, no, actually, Mitch was in the military, but they were ashamed because he was a really bad dude who abused women in the past. And then they brought out the said women onto their platform. Like suddenly we are being brought into Jerry Springer and they had to absolve his past. Everyone's like, what does this have to do with Fort Huachuca? You know, can Suge Knight see
But isn't that the same thing that Candace does when she brings up the Macrones and the secret societies that assault kids and so forth? Isn't that the exact same thing? You bring up something that's not related to anything. We've heard about things. I mean, you brought it up. You had that dude talking about it, but it has no relation to the conversation we're having now. So what's the difference, Candace? But see, this is Candace. Shout out to the best live channel on the internet. Let's go.
Brian Harpole at a military base. Like, do I care about Suge Knight's history? What does that have to do with anything?
Why is Suge Knight getting strays?
So when the public didn't bite on that, they then said that it probably wasn't even true that he was at Fort Huachuca because he was a pathological liar and they could prove if this was a bad dude and a pathological liar. So I then dropped the military police reports, the actual incident reports from what happened on the base on that.
Yo, she literally showed this dog a Word document. Whether it's done or not, whether it's right or not, is completely beside the point. The fact that she shows this as if this is the telling point. You know what? Hold on. We got to give y'all some, because that laugh right there made me feel good in my soul. I'm gonna give you FOIA for that, and for some reason or another, I don't know why. I'm just feeling gracious. I'm giving you planes. If you need planes, you got it. She literally is showing this doggone document as if this is the smoking gun. This is the one with all the spelling errors. It is clearly a work in progress. Why has she not secured the original document? Yo, Candace, come on. In 26, use your free will to do something intelligent. At least get the document. At least get the real document. Then you could put all heads to bed then. This is some crazy work. All right, let's go.
That day, which proves that Mitch told the truth.
Nobody's saying that Mitch wasn't there.
And they said the police report was fake. There were some points of it looked fake because it had typos. And this didn't look like a real driver's license number for driver's license.
Because it's not a real driver's license number. It doesn't look like a real driver's license number. It is not a real driver's license number. And let's not forget, they don't have Mitch's name on. They have Michael on there. So there's a lot of problems with this.
License for Washington State. And apparently police officers never make typos, right? Everyone knows these are like English.
It's a work in progress.
Authors. How could a police officer typo in a police report? Goalpost was moved again and again. And finally, they decided I'm not kidding here. They decided that as proof of how terrible of a human being that Mitch was, which again, I still can't compute what this has to do with whether or not he was at Fort Huachuca.
Wow.
But as proof. They were teasing this, and Alex Jones was teasing this. They were going to bring his son on. His son, who he has not spoken to since his son was 2 years old and who is now an adult man. They were going to bring his son onto the show to speak about Mitch. And accidentally, and quite hilariously, the son confirms that the incident at Fort Huachuca actually happened. Okay? Take a listen to that moment because it's perfection. It's hilarious.
You're a veteran, and I don't know. Have you watched his claims on Candace Owens? Do you know what he's talking about?
I watched some of them very briefly. I can only stomach so much of that bullshit. They're not going to let him go into anywhere ops center or anything like that on any post. Not Huachuca, not Carson, not nowhere, not in the States, not abroad. They're going to make him go through the same center that everybody goes through to get his ID, get it renewed if he doesn't have it to that point. They're going to let him go to the commissary. They're going to let him go to the PX, maybe some of the other amenities on the post, but he doesn't have a secret security clearance.
Or if he does walk into the Joint Task Force staff duty, he might end up detained and outside getting the canines called on him as per this report, which again, I don't even know if this report is real or not. There's so much craziness going on with this report.
I mean,
plate number.
They called me on September 9th, asking me if I knew anything about a Mitch Snow and telling me that I was listed as his number one emergency contact. And I just remember sitting there for like a minute, like, I don't know a Mitch Snow. I don't know why I'd be on somebody's emergency contact list.
Oops. Not what they had planned. So yeah, Fort Huachuca, everything he told us happened that morning on the 9th happened. And they also
no. See, if you're a member of Cantifa, Candace knows that your brain is too smooth to catch that. He did not confirm that everything happened. He just confirmed that he was on the base. And I don't think and I've spoken to Gary, I don't think he said that the man wasn't on the base. I believe they said he was on the base. It's the events that have happened that he said happened on the base were not real. That's the thing that people are calling the question. And it's not just that he was, I don't think people said that. Now, maybe if he did, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if Gary said he knows emphatically that Mitch Snow was not on base. Because I know I talked to him just recently, and that's not what he's saying. So maybe he said it before. If there's a clip, let me know. But yeah, like he's probably on base. I don't think anybody argued that he was on base. I'm finding out that I could have gone on base. I could go on base myself. The air base is down the street from me. I could go on base because in the Sun said it. He can go to the commissary, he can go to PX, a couple other things. He's not going into secured places. And that is the rub. Okay, let's go. All right, let's go.
Because they probably looked up at his son, was his son. And yeah, oopsies.
That's not saying
They
that.
pivoted again to hosting a stream to rather gloriously and definitively declare that Erica had an airtight alibi on the 8th, or at least they were confused about dates and didn't realize that we were speaking about the 8th. And this is when things went very sideways and revealed that Andrew Colvett was actually the hand behind the scenes communicating with these people.
That's why I say Andrew needs to stop.
Obsessed with Mitch's past. Paramount Tactical is live, and he accidentally reads his instructions from Andrew Colvett, but couldn't read fast enough to the part where Andrew Colvett says, please don't show this. Take a listen.
I asked him, hey, do you have proof of this? He says, but it's worth saying Erica wasn't in some fort in Tucson. The internet's gone insane. She woke up next to Charlie on the 9th, went to the office with Charlie all day, woke him up from a nap before a Fox hit, went to dinner with Charlie. Literally, people are lunatics. And then the next one, proof, she was with her kids at 8:33 a.m. Pacific time, which again, in September, Arizona's on Pacific time. Taking them for a walk. Apparently I wasn't supposed to share that. But anyways, point being is that's 8:33 a.m. It shows the date on that. Sorry, Andrew. I screwed that up, man. I was trying to run a podcast and do everything else.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You should be sorry. I'm sorry for Andrew too, because that's what pissed me off. Honestly.
What's the takeaway? What's the wrong? I mean, I did a video where Frank Turek proves that Erica was at home, and it's completely and no Andrews were hurt in the making of that video. So what is the takeaway? What's the big gotcha? What's the big aha? Because I don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. That was upsetting to me because we
Who
had all
cares?
suspected that Turning Point was behind this. We had suspected that they were the ones, and I can confirm to you because also Alex said that he was in communication with Turning Point USA. The spokesperson is Andrew, obviously, and I confirmed that Andrew had been communicating with Alex Jones directly. But why that upset me was because they were willing to
Who cares?
drag me through the mud to try to have me, I would say, threatened by these YouTubers, this very guy that then goes, oh, Andrew Colvett. And yet they wouldn't just communicate that directly to me. Like we were very open to him just having the wrong memory, being where he was, but maybe having the wrong memory and not having seen Erica or seeing Brian Harpole. So what is this actually about?
You're lying
What
on
is this
people.
actually about? And what was upsetting to me, especially first and foremost, because this makes no sense, nobody accused Erica of being anywhere on the 9th, but yet we see her finger in there. We see that she is showing that she's with her kids on the morning of the 9th. And that to me ran counter to my meeting with Erica. I was left under the impression after my meeting with Erica that Andrew Colvett had gone rogue, right? A lot of the things that I was saying and Turning Point was saying the opposite thing. And I felt like they were trying to make me look like a liar, right? The Charlie Kirk Catholic thing, me speaking about the threats that Charlie received the day before he died. And then Turning Point would come out and issue a statement. Their excuse was like, okay, no, you were telling the truth, but Andrew Colvett went rogue. And to be honest, I wasn't exactly sure what to believe when I left the meeting. Obviously, I wanted to take time to digest those things. But I'm very clear that that's what I was told, right? They copped to the fact that, yeah, Andrew Colvett did receive that text from Charlie the night before, and Charlie was worried that he was going to be killed. But, Erica didn't know this information, and she was looking in his iMessages. Okay, so Andrew went so rogue that he didn't even communicate after Charlie was assassinated to the team that Charlie was afraid he was going to die. Also, he was rogue, apparently, on the Superman text as well. Like, he was the one who issued that tweet and quoted the surgeon. I then told you that the surgeon never said that. That was not a quote from the surgeon. What I didn't tell you was that according to my source, which I trust very much,
My source.
the person that was on that phone that said that quote was actually Erica. It was a 3-way phone call. After my episode, I am told, again, these are two disputed narratives. Erica claims Andrew went rogue and also the surgeon went rogue and violated HIPAA. My source says that no, the surgeon did not violate HIPAA and he never said that, but he answered Andrew Colvett's questions because Erica was on the phone, and that the Superman quotation came.
So real quick, and I hope you all see the play. The play is she's going to keep heaping up claims against Turning Point USA to the point that people start hating Turning Point USA. And there's a ton of people that do. So it's clearly been working. Her grift has been grifting. And it's funny because notice she's not addressed anything that has come out about Mitch. None of the revelations that have come out about Mitch that have been proven correct. She's not going to address those. She's going to completely, well, see, he was on the base. It must be true. Everything he said was true because he was on the base. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying he wasn't on the base. What we're saying is that what he's saying isn't true. And this is just the play that she's doing. Be mindful of this and make fun of Candace. Let's go.
From her, and they thought it was sweet because she was trying to grapple with things. And that's why I just abstained from telling the public that, because I thought maybe
because you just made it up.
Because he died. And I was
hold on, wait. If Erica, she talked to Erica on December 15th. Since December 15th, she's joked and disparaged the whole quote unquote Superman neck of steel story. If she already knew what she's saying now, then that means that she's being duplicitous and being disingenuous. She's just lying, y'all. I'm sorry. There's no reason to take her seriously.
Gracious. I don't know what to believe. What I see now is that I'm getting played because now I see that she's giving an alibi to Andrew. And Andrew's not going rogue, okay? Andrew is being told to do these things. Andrew is being told to attack me and to attack my narrative. Andrew is being told to lie on my name. Andrew is allowing these attacks to happen, sitting there across from Alex Clark, like, Catholic, no, he just liked the architecture. And I no longer accept that he is just going rogue. Okay. That to me shows coordination. There's no other way to read it. So we have to sentence Andrew Colbert to more truth. That's going to be the new vibe. You lie, I tell the truth. So let's revisit the Hamptons. Okay. Remember that whole debacle? Another thing that I said to the public.
All right. So as I said before, Fort Huachuca was supposed to be the linchpin of linchpins. Fort Hawktua was supposed to be the end of it. Now we got to go back to the Hamptons? Girl, that was almost 3 months ago. I thought we were right here in Utah. We are, or wherever Fort Hawktua is. We were supposed to be there. That was supposed to fix everything. But now we got to go to the Hamptons. Okay. I guess that makes sense. I guess it makes sense. I guess.
That Seth Dillon was pressing Charlie. I said there was a smaller meeting that took place. I said Bibi Netanyahu.
But you ain't got no proof.
And he offered to take Turning Point to the next level. And everybody had a lot to say and things were crazy.
Where's your proof?
And, Candace is crazy. Max Blumenthal's crazy. He also reported this. Everyone's lying. That's not true. Everything was amazing. Well, the Hamptons debacle came up when I sat down with Erica, and she conceded that, yeah, she was there. I had no idea, by the way, that Erica was there. First time I found out Erica was there was when I was sitting across from Erica. I don't know actually why I wasn't told that earlier. Anyways, the point being is that she was there and she conceded that yes.
Okay, I think the new strategy for 26 is to just say stuff so egregious that that she feels people are going to have to say something to debunk what she's saying. So now you're telling us that you've known since the 15th. So almost a month, 20-something odd days. You haven't mentioned that, but you've been dragging Erica left, right, and center. Notice Erica has been brought up 3 different times in this whatever we're watching. Just something to notice, something to take note of. Let's go.
Israel thing came up, and just as the people told me that his perspectives on Israel were being challenged. And then she said, yeah, I was there when Bibi Netanyahu called. Okay. How come no one has confirmed that? There's a piece of me that is angry about the fact that I have been telling the truth. And I feel like I have been being gaslit about that.
Because you're not important.
No one,
Brenda,
has tossed me a little bit of rope, right? Hey, Candace, you're out there. She's telling the truth.
Nobody cares. You think people care?
Erica says that Erica told me that, but he did not offer to take Turning Point to the next level. And I said, really? She said, yeah, I don't know who your source is on that, but that part's not true. He did call, but that part's not true.
Oops.
So what I told her, what I think shocked her, was that my source on that, which I had never previously revealed to the public, was Andrew Colbert. It was Andrew Colbert who told me that Bibi Netanyahu offered to take Turning Point to the next level, and that Charlie Kirk said no. Did he go rogue again? I don't know. I said I thought
again. Andrew Colbert. Andrew's name been brought up 6 times. I don't believe this happened because she's just telling the story now, and she's mentioned Andrew Colbert since she came back from the interview with Erica on the 15th. But she's just saying stuff now. I really believe she's saying stuff to try to get them to reply. Okay.
I find it very weird.
I find you weird.
Andrew would make that up. And then I was sort of told, like, well, maybe it happened a different time or whatever. Maybe when she wasn't there. It was pretty specific that it happened. And then I said, and I confirmed that with 2 other people. One person who I'm not going to give the clue about on the show because it would reveal a source that was not related to Andrew Colbert, who confirmed that very same thing. And there's no way Andrew would have known anything about that source. He was not communicating. He was not that source's source. Somebody else
oh my gosh.
At that dinner was. And then I confirmed it for a 3rd time with somebody that is very close to Andrew Colbert, that he said that he lost a lot of money when Charlie said no to Bibi Netanyahu. That's your punishment, Andrew. Truth. So now you can respond to reporters asking the questions.
See?
That's what you get. Don't lie in my name. Don't direct people to attack me. I'm done with all of it this year.
I told you the whole thing is to say something, and now and she says this is the truth. She alleges that this is the truth. So therefore, what did she say? I sentence you the truth. Well, now she wants them to reply. And again, I don't know why Andrew's name keeps coming up. I've said this before. Andrew Colvett really needs to stop. But I don't believe that Turning Point should even turn your phones off. If you got her phone, delete it or block it. Just treat it like noise. Do not engage her whatsoever. That's it. I don't even get this. And that's a great point, Bronson. It is getting boring. All right, let's get done. We're finished.
The Fort Huachuca story.
Haktua.
I now very much believe there is something here.
Oh, believe it,
I
girl.
reached out immediately after this moment where Andrew goes mask down. I reached out to Andrew Colbert directly, and I reached out to the COO. And in good faith, I said, hey, I am happy to communicate the facts to my audience. You don't need to submit your alibi to some obscure YouTuber. You don't have to have Alex Jones go after me or attack me. We were just interested in the truth. We didn't know where this was going to end. And I had a phone call, not with Andrew Colbert, a good phone call. I do think thus far Justin Strife has maybe been the only person that has been well intended. And he's not on social media, so he kind of stays above the fray. And he was trying to understand what happened, and I explained to him that I was now pissed off.
Who cares?
That I viewed this to be a violation of our ceasefire. Okay,
nobody cares.
And he said to me that he would get me a message from Erica that was her quote unquote alibi, if we're calling it that. I never demanded an alibi again, but that this was a conversation between her and Charlie about dinner, about them making dinner during that time frame when Mitch believes that he saw her on Fort Huachuca, at the Fort Huachuca base at the hotel. So it would be impossible, obviously, if this is a conversation on the 8th between Charlie and Erica, for her to have also been on the base, conversation about dinner. He did send me that message, but the contact name was blacked out. So I said, do you mind, just sending me, you can unblock the contact name, obviously, because I know Charlie's number. So, and he said, we thought you were going to release that to the public, and we don't want Charlie's nickname to be shown. And I said, well, don't worry about that. I'm not going to release the message. I think the public trusts me. I'm not going to release the message. If I say I saw it and confirmed it, they would trust it. But I need I need to see Charlie's name. Could you just send me the quick video of her opening that? And I've not received that since. Okay. So
because they don't, you don't deserve something. Why are you thinking that people need to do this? TPUSA, I'm telling y'all, TPUSA has shot themselves in the foot by engaging with this crazy lunatic. Like, again, this is all old news. You've not told us anything new. You've not shared, you've not debunked anything that we know about Mitch Snow, his dad being a Zodiac killer, all this stuff about the attacks and so forth. All these things that chip away at his credibility and his truthfulness in the public eye. You've not addressed any of that. I have no idea what this has to do with anything whatsoever. None whatsoever. Because whether or not Erica was there is really subject to whether or not we can see Mitch as a truthful, because even if she was there, it still don't mean that Mitch is telling the truth. See, this is dumb.
I followed up about 4 times. I still have not received that.
Who
so I
cares?
confirm that.
Kudos to TPUSA.
I'm interested in confirming it.
Put TPUSA in the chat, y'all, because TPUSA does not need to engage Candace Owens. Let's just flood the chat with TPUSA. Just flood it. Just flood it with TPUSA. Because they don't owe you anything, Brenda. I don't understand why this is a lap that you can't understand. I don't understand it. But I pray that these people use the free will and the good air that God gave them in 2026 to ignore her.
I'm interested in confirming it because I feel like something's there. I just sense, you know what? To use an expression that Daily Wire apparently loves, we don't know now, but I think we know. Something happened at Fort Huachuca, and tomorrow we're going to dive deeper. We're talk about
tomorrow.
We're going to talk about Mark Amadei. Actually, I do believe that Mark Amadei, and again, remember, regarding Cabot Phillips and Mark Amadei, I was not contacted about them initially. He gave me descriptions of the people that he saw, and I started sending him faces. I do think that I do know who he saw. That was a congressman, and it was not Mark Amadei. So we're going to get into that.
So that means you were wrong. That means what you've done by dragging that man out there was wrong. You put a lawmaker in the sight of your crazy Cantifa cult members, ma'am.
Very interesting because a lot of pieces are coming together for me.
New
Anyways,
pieces
that
tomorrow.
is a lot to say today, and I wanted to
You
recap
said nothing.
that because I am just feeling like a ceasefire was violated, and I think that's fair. I think that is fair.
Wow.
So we will take
A
a brief break
ceasefire
and come back and answer
was
some of your comments.
violated.
All right, you guys, this year
Hold
a
on.
lot of us are setting the same genocide conspiracy rights.
Hold on, wait.
Again, that's 800-795-1210 or visit americanfinancing.net/Owens. That's americanfinancing.net/Owens. All right, here's I got this Christmas present from Mark, and it's just hilarious. I can't even believe that this is being sold
Wow.
online. I don't know. It's just very sweet that France is selling Brigitte dolls. It's very sweet. You can collect their collector's items, I would say. And whoever is selling this
Wow.
is about to be so sued from the French government. Top comments from last episode at the end of last year, obviously.
So they won't, again, if Candace wants to beat the charges that her show is recorded, which I emphatically stand on, Candace's show is recorded, she would bring up the comments in real time. In real time, just like I do this. She needs to bring up those real comments. That's what needs to happen. The reason she doesn't is because the show is recorded. That's why she's talking about comments from the last episode and not the new episode that's going on right now in real time.
Was the midget horse who did nothing wrong. Again, I apologize to the horse. T-Spiracy writes his initials are literally BS. She sings her songs, writes genocide. You had the other genocide is always wrong. Yeah, that me saying that got me in a lot of trouble. And I still feel that way. I still think genocide is always wrong. So I have not.
What about genocide in Nigeria, Candace? What about genocide in Nigeria? Do you have any opinion on that?
Learned my lesson, but it's never going to stop. I am never going to stop being chased by this company. It's really weird and it makes me uncomfortable. I just want to be fired. Never wanted to just be fired so bad. Have you ever heard anybody just be like, can you please just fire me? Please just let me go on my merry way. It's never going to end. Jenna writes, praying and fasting for you as you search for truth. Thank you so much. And we should pray for the entire world because it really does feel like we are in, and I know I'm sure everyone feels this way, but it feels very end of times right now where their old tactics are not working and they're growing increasingly desperate and increasingly angry. And I just feel like everyone's glitching right now. People that we used to trust, they're just sort of glitching and we're starting to see them for what they are as a part of a larger psychological operation. And they're just handing us more things, more stuff that's meant to distract us. And they didn't want us to be this focused on the Charlie Kirk assassination, but I am this focused on the Charlie Kirk assassination. And I have so much stuff that I can't wait to break for you beginning tomorrow. Isabella writes, what do you think Charlie would say about the operation capturing the dictator Maduro? He was a terrible man that oppressed the Venezuelan people, but I'm afraid of the deep state. I'm afraid the deep state or Israel is involved. Oh, you don't have to imagine that. I mean, Israel.
This is interesting because she said she was reading comments from the last episode. So these are comments that are, I guess, new, but why are you not pulling them up on the screen if they're new comments? And the other thing I just want to point out, let me just, I know I don't mean to jump backwards on this, but sorry. I'm going to pull this up just to show you where that comment goes. She just read the comment. Okay, whatever. She read a comment and notice that it wasn't, darn it. Okay, I apologize. I think it was I don't know. I could have been wrong. It looks like a YouTube comment, not a live chat comment. That's different. That's different. So I'll find it. Maybe I'll make it the thumbnail or something.
I think Israel's salivating and they're pretending like this means we're going to have cheap oil. We're going to be filling up our tank for 3 cents. And what's going to happen after that is America, the streets are going to be clean. The kids are going to become smart. Like, how many times can you keep falling for the same thing? Like the same CIA narrative that the reason why we're toppling all of these regimes is because we're the good guys. Like, I just don't know how many times we can keep engaging in the same stupid sports and expecting different results. We're just doing the same stupid thing over and over. Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan. No, really, this time we're toppling evil. Oh, millions of civilians dead? The states are worse than they've ever been. What happened? Oh, I know what happened. Imperialism happened. People at the very top, the oligarchy that runs the world, got richer. They became more powerful. And the rest of us, yeah, no, not doing any better, actually. But if we're lucky, our sons will be able to go die overseas. That's kind of the offer.
What are you talking about, Brenda?
Just keeps happening. Just keeps happening. And I just would like to get off the hamster wheel. So no, to be extra clear here, I do not believe Maduro was a good guy. I am not team Maduro. Nor do I think that Assad was some perfect president of Syria. I just recognize the CIA and the Mossad and what they keep doing over and over again. Seems pretty clear to me. I recognize patterns. Okay. Edison writes, everything about Amfest was fake and gay. Andrew, the tent. Nicki Minaj, the tent. Vance, the tent. The fireworks, the tent. It was like a celebration of his death. We just skipped the grieving part. I'm so sorry. We love you. Stay strong. Well, we're humans, so that's why we saw it for what it was, and other people can't recognize it. So our punishment is they're going to make a lot of videos and call us demonic, and Ali Stuckey's going to hit the Bible verses and tell us why we can't feel the way we feel. Even that we got to leave that behind 2025. Bubblegum Christianity. I'm leaving it behind.
I just can't. I can't do it, y'all. How is she going to? Candace Owens has demonstrated no evidence of her conversion, but she has everything to say about those who have been converted. Y'all make that make sense.
Behind in 2025, guys. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see people lecturing me about why I should accept evil and acting like biblical proverbs are just Snapple facts. You just flip it open, see how it makes you feel. Like that's not it. There's a reason why priests should be ordained, and I'm leaving it behind. Bubblegum Christianity.
Wow.
And I think you had you peaked at the beginning of 2025 and you went down real fast. Same thing for the pastors on stage with the ripped jeans, trying to make it cool, but actually kind of telling us what to think. You guys all look like a psyop right now. You do look like a psychological operation that you're just trying to have us.
This is some
agree with
wild
you,
work,
and that's
y'all.
fine, by the way. Just remove the Bible from it. Just tell us what you think, and we'll let you know if we want to buy what you're selling.
So you mean kind of like what you do, Candace? Because you don't. There's no scriptures have been hurt in the making of any of your content. Not a one. Not a one page has been ripped in you turning your pages. This is some crazy work.
Let's just make it fair. Let's make it real. Corey writes, Charlie got Michael Jackson. If you really think about it, Charlie was basically an artist, a podcast artist making a ton of money that just so happens to keep disappearing. He was getting TLC'd, MC Hammered, Yeezy'd, and then Charlie woke up. I do believe he woke up at the very end and he saw what was happening.
What are you talking about?
I know he woke up at the end. I hope I made that clear. Army Sniper writes, retired Army law enforcement here, Paramount Tactical Valhalla. They are an embarrassment to me as a vet. People are not realizing that you are doing an investigation. Some leads are good, others are bad, normal stuff.
No.
Good job. Yeah, actually, the people are realizing that, which is why their psychological operation has been failing. Like, of course, we are going to make mistakes so long as we own up to those mistakes. I don't even think we've made any mistakes. Like, I haven't lied about anything. I've asked questions and then they try to pretend, oh, you got served. You asked a question that didn't lead wasn't a viable lead. That's the whole reason we're asking the questions. That's why we're reaching out to people. By the way, I want you guys to know I have reached out to Brian Harpole now 4 times. I've also reached out to Dan Flood. I am happy if he texts me tonight and says, here's where I was on the morning of the 9th. And here's proof of that. I'll say, okay, it wasn't Brian Harpole.
No, because Brian Harpole is, I know that evidence has been shown to you and you still won't take it. I know that. You just don't want, you want evidence and you're going to sit there and say, well, I know your name is spelled B-R-I and this is B-R-Y-A-N. That can't be you. And then she's going to go on down another rabbit trail. No, man, I thank God. Thank God these people don't engage you.
I feel at this stage that it was.
Who cares?
I otherwise cannot make sense of Andrew Colbett's actions. So
Wow, how Andrew
We'll
get
see
back
you
into it?
guys. Anyways, we have book club tomorrow. Thank you guys for allowing me to take a break. I know I canceled one.
All right, so shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Yo, Candace, and I have heard you all. We are not going to do Candace every day. We're probably going to break it up. Like I might just, we might just, because again, like it's just going to be the same slop literally every day. There's nothing new. There was not one thing shared here new, except that Tim guy in his video clips. That's the only thing that was probably new. Everything else we've already seen. So we might not do every day. And I don't know when I'm gonna get back on YouTube. Whenever I get out the sin bin, we got to figure that part out. But shout out to you all. Thank you all so much for this. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for jumping in over here. I know it's a big deal because a lot of people are used to, a lot of people don't like Twitter. A lot of people are used to YouTube, but I appreciate you. At one point, we had almost 2,100 folk, almost 2,075 right now. That's crazy. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. As soon as I know something else, I'll let you all know. But I'll still be putting up my community posts on Twitter and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I'll only be streaming here unless I find out how to stream on Rumble better or my Substack. But I really do appreciate y'all. It means a lot that y'all rock with me. What I'm going to do though is I am going to take this video. It'll still be on Twitter. I am going to take it and I'm going to premiere it on YouTube probably at 7 o'clock. Depends how long it takes me. So I will do that. So thank y'all so much. Please, if you don't mind, if I've earned it, go over to YouTube and give me that subscribe. I'm still trying to hit my 100,000 subscribers by April. So I really would appreciate you checking it out. And of course, make sure you go over this video, like it, all that kind of good stuff, comment down below, all that kind of good jazz. It really does mean a lot. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And yeah, I'm gonna go find the truth. And the truth is that Lady Dear Woke Christian just came into the garage and I think they got dinner. So there is the truth right there. I cannot do my live stream on YouTube at the current moment. I don't know why. I'm banned from putting up live streams. So I don't know what happened. They're not really explaining it to me. They're not explaining why or anything of that nature. This is how YouTube does. I will tell you this. This is the YouTubing of YouTube. They have a lot of different ways to put their thumb on the scale and a lot of different ways to let content creators remember, hey, I just want you to remember, this is our play box. This is our sandbox. These are our toys. And they make sure you remember that every now and then. Make sure you remember it. So I guess maybe I had forgotten. So they want to make sure I remembered. Like, look, these are our toys. I'm the captain here. So shout out to them. Anyway, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Everybody have a fantastic evening. I will, like I said, this video is going to go live on YouTube probably about 7:30, depends how long it takes me. And then I'll double back with you all and I'll see you all tomorrow. I will, I got a couple of good interviews. I ask you all, do you all want to see more interviews? I have some good interviews planned. I will say this, the next interview that I have is a recorded interview. They did not want to do it live. And oh, by the way, I can't do it live anyway, but they wanted to do a recording. So that will be coming up. So I will be doing more interviews as well as things that are candy free, if you will. So your dentist will like my channel because we're not going to have candy all the time. Everybody, thank you so much. Somebody said he sinned against Candace. I mean, it's possible, man. It's possible. But everybody, I want to say thank you again. Thank you for rocking with me. I'll see you all real soon. Make sure you hit the like button, jump over to YouTube, make sure you hit the like and all that kind of subscribe. Help your boy hit that 100,000. Until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.